Once upon a time, in a tiny town, there lived a stunning young woman named Emily. She was 20 years old, with sapphire eyes and golden hair. Though her family was poor, they were content. They resided in a modest cottage and shared a deep love for one another. Emily had a passion for reading books and dreamed of a brighter future. One day, she visited the town market, where she encountered a young man named John. John was tall and good-looking, with dark hair and a gentle smile. He came from an affluent family, with parents who owned a grand house and vast lands. Emily and John soon became close friends. They spent hours talking and laughing together, enjoying walks in the fields and by the river. John shared his dreams with Emily, and she confided her aspirations with him. They grew increasingly fond of one another. One day, John turned to Emily and confessed, "I love you, Emily. Will you marry me?" Emily was overwhelmed with happiness and replied, "Yes, John, I love you too." They embraced, daydreaming about their future together. However, there was a problem. John's parents did not approve of Emily. They believed she was unworthy of their son because she came from humble beginnings. John's mother said, "John, you cannot marry Emily. She isn't from a wealthy family." His father agreed, adding, "You must find someone from a privileged background." John was heartbroken. He adored Emily and did not want to lose her. He told his parents, "I love Emily. She is kind and virtuous. Money doesn't matter." But his parents remained firm, declaring, "If you marry Emily, we will not support you." Emily was aware of the situation and, though deeply saddened, didn't want to cause John more trouble. She said to him, "Perhaps it's best if we don't marry. I don't want to make things harder for you." John replied, "No, Emily, I will always love you. We'll find a way." Days passed, and John tried to persuade his parents, but they wouldn't change their minds. Emily's family also learned of the conflict and worried about her. Her mother said, "We love you, Emily, and want you to be happy, but perhaps it's best to let John go." Emily cried many nights, torn between her love for John and the fear of hurting him. One day, she made the painful decision to speak with John. "I love you so much," she said, "but I think we shouldn't marry. Your parents will never accept me, and I don't want to complicate your life." John was devastated but understood. "I can't live without you," he said, "but I will always love you." They hugged and cried, knowing their love was powerful, but that the world was against them. They agreed to stay friends and promised to always be there for each other. Though their hearts were broken, they knew they could never be together. Emily continued to live with her family, working hard to help them. John also went on with his life, but he never forgot Emily. Years passed, and their love remained in their hearts. They understood that sometimes love alone isn't enough. Both learned that life could be harsh, but their feelings for each other endured. Emily worked in the village, helping her family and neighbors. Her kindness earned her the respect and affection of the villagers. John, meanwhile, worked diligently and helped his family's business. He was fair and considerate to everyone. One day, Emily's father fell seriously ill. She was deeply concerned and cared for him day and night, praying for his recovery. Upon hearing the news, John came to offer his support. "I'm sorry to hear about your father, Emily," he said. "Is there anything I can do?" Emily was moved by his generosity. "Thank you, John. Your help means so much to me." John brought medicine and food for Emily's family and visited them often. Over time, Emily's father began to recover. She was incredibly grateful to John. "You have such a generous heart, John." "Thank you," she said. John smiled and replied, "I will always be here for you." As they spent more time together, they spoke about their dreams and ambitions. They still loved each other, but both knew that John's parents would never approve of their relationship. They agreed to remain friends and support one another. Soon, John had to go to the city for work. "I have to leave for a while," he told Emily, "but I'll write to you." Emily felt a pang of sadness but understood. "I'll miss you, John. Please take care of yourself." John went to the city, worked hard, and learned many new things. He kept in touch with Emily through letters, sharing updates on his life. Emily wrote back, telling him about her life in the village. Through their letters, they stayed connected and shared their thoughts and feelings. As time passed, John's career flourished. He saved money and helped his family, but he never stopped thinking about Emily. She too often thought of him, missing him, but feeling happy for his success. One day, John decided to visit the village. He wanted to see Emily. He knocked on her door, and when she opened it, she was astonished to see him. "John, you're back," she exclaimed. John smiled warmly. "Yes, Emily, I missed you." They spent hours talking, recounting their lives. John shared his experiences in the city, while Emily told him about her life in the village. They laughed, reminisced, and shared memories. Finally, John said, "Emily, I still love you. I want to be with you." Emily felt joy, but also concern. "I love you too, John, but what about your parents?" she asked. John replied, "I've saved enough money to support us. I no longer need my parents' approval." Emily was moved by John's determination. "I'm proud of you, John, but I don't want to create problems for you." John answered, "You are my happiness. I want to be with you." Together, they decided to be together, knowing the road ahead would be difficult, but feeling ready to face the challenges. They married in a small ceremony surrounded by their loved ones. Emily's family rejoiced for her, knowing John was a good man, but John's parents refused to attend, still opposed to the union. Yet, John and Emily remained undeterred. Their love was strong, and they were determined to build a life together. They moved to the city and began a new chapter. They worked hard and supported one another. Despite the challenges they faced, their love kept them strong. They knew that as long as they had each other, they could conquer anything. Years passed, and Emily and John built a life full of happiness. They had children and taught them the importance of love and kindness. They never forgot their journey and the obstacles they overcame. They knew that true love is resilient and can overcome any challenge. Emily and John grew old together, looking back on their lives with contentment and pride. Their love had made them better people, and they were grateful for the life they had created. They lived happily ever after, cherishing their love and knowing it would last forever. The end. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next video.